Hi, it's Mike.
And this is Fran.
And this is Mike and Fran Unrehearsed, episode 48. Hey, how's everyone doing? Hope you're doing great. Hey, summer's winding down, so get out there and play tennis. That's what I'm trying to do. But you know what I did? I blew out a muscle on the back of my calf there, Ma, and I've been sitting around with ice on it. When am I going to be able to play again?
When you rest it up.
Hopefully soon.
Doesn't go away immediately.
So you're listening to Mike and Fran Unrehearsed, real-life internet radio on 216 The Net on Wednesdays at noon. Hey guys, we've got a couple of exciting things going on here for you. Of course, you could always join our Monday's Cup of Joe networking event at 8 a.m. in the morning. Just go on Facebook and look for Cup of Joe. If you guys want to save a little bit of money on things that you're normally buying anyway, check out our super app. We have Wednesday night meetings to find out more about that. And then if you have a dog or a cat, look for telehealth for pets so you don't have to go to the veterinarian and spend $200. You can spend $12.99 a month and go to the veterinarian as many times as you want from the own privacy of your own home. Sound good? All right. So there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about that we're adding to the site. We do have a site now on TikTok. How about that, Mom? I can tell people that my mom has a TikTok site. Isn't that cool? In fact, when I was in Boise and I told Alyssa, she goes, Grandma has a TikTok site? Well, I go, yes, she does.
You got to impress somebody.
And we're having all kind of fun with it, let me tell you. What's interesting is last week I went out to the Oktoberfest in Lincoln Square in Chicago, and there's this elderly gentleman that's probably out there every year. And guess what? He likes to hang loose a little bit on the dance floor. And they were singing that Pee Wee Herman song, you know. You know how it goes, Mom?
No.
Well, he knows how it goes, and he was doing the dance with his feet and swaying.
The shuffle and the back. He was tremendous.
It was just fantastic. So guess what? I got twice as many hits on that guy than I did on any of our stuff. So maybe I just need to follow him around and put him on there more often.
He was tremendous.
But
charming.
I will post a link to that on our site, and our site is MikeandFranRadio.com. That's www.MikeandFranRadio.com. We can find all of our shows and all of the little options there for you, especially for your folks with small businesses. So what we're also announcing is $20 for 2 minutes. $20 for 2 minutes. So if you have a small business, you give us $20, we'll give you 2 minutes on our show, in the front and in the back of the show. 2 minutes to advertise your company, your business, your contact information, and it'll be a lot of fun, and you'll get your name out there. You know, we got over 100,000 people listening to our show every week, guys, so I think that could be a good thing. So let me know. Go to our site, click on the top, give me a copy of your ad. We can chat about it with any specifics that you want to include in your ad. Maybe we can sing a little song with it or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something. We got a guitar around here somewhere, don't we, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You do.
All right. So $20 for 2 minutes, beginning of the show and end of the show. Let's try that and see how that goes. I think that could be pretty cool. All right. So what's been going on over the last couple of weeks, Mom? A lot of stuff.
Well, I wanted to first make a correction.
Oh.
We were talking about Leylah Fernandez, the young tennis phenom who turned 19 during the tournament. And I mentioned her heritage incorrectly.
Yes.
Her mother is Filipino and her dad is Ecuadorian. And she is a upcoming bright player and didn't quite win it. The one who won was Emma Rudescu, who was Canadian and who never lost one set. They were just fantastic, and she was 18. So Michael will talk a little bit more about some of the other people who took part in the New York U.S. Open tennis tournament.
Let's just say 2021 U.S. Open. And of course, everybody knows that's in New York City. And it was real interesting to watch because they had that storm there for a little while, and everything was getting flooded out. I mean, can you imagine, worried about your car getting flooded sitting there watching the U.S. Open? I mean, wow, that was a little loony. But yeah.
Well, getting home was a job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom, so here are some quotes from some of the winners at the U.S. Open. From Emma Raducanu, who won the women's championship, or won the women's Grand Slam of Great Britain, she said, well, actually, she made history by becoming the first qualifier to win a Grand Slam in the Open era. And all you tennis people out there know that's very hard to do. She said, it's an absolute dream, 18-year-old Emma Raducanu. Leylah Fernandez of Canada said, that's years and years and years of hard work and tears and blood, everything, on court, off court, sacrifices. I just wanted to be in the final. I really wanted it. I fought for every point.
And she turned 19 during the tournament.
19-year-old Leylah Fernandez of Canada. Now you got to look at these two a little bit differently, because Leylah was more like the Cinderella kind of a tennis player, right? I mean, they didn't have everything. They didn't have a lot of money. They talked to the Canadian government to back them up. Yeah, they're doing better now, but they didn't have all that growing up. And she's right, they made a lot of sacrifices. But she says years and years and years and years and years.
She's just 19.
She's only 19 years old.
Yeah.
But maybe she started playing tennis when she was like 4 years old. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe,
might have mentioned, too, that Emma Raducanu, I think I called her once Canadian. She was born in Canada, but she plays for Great Britain.
Well, let's talk about her parents.
Yeah.
So Emma's, she looks Asian, but she's actually...
Her mother's Chinese.
Mother's Chinese, and her father is...
Iranian, I think.
That's right,
Yeah.
Iranian.
Beautiful girl.
So, beautiful Asian girl with a wonderful tan, right? Permanent tan. And then you have Leylah Fernandez, who's Filipino, but whose father is...
From Ecuador.
Ecuadorian.
Yeah.
So we have a Filipino girl with a wonderful tan.
Yeah.
Permanent tan.
Beautiful looking girls.
They played an awesome game. 18-year-old and a 19-year-old. And it's like a new sort of thing that's happening in the U.S. Open. All the young people are starting to win and play really, really, really well. So if you go to the men's, I mean...
Oh, that young one from Canada.
Well, let's just talk about Daniel Medvedev, who won the Grand Slam. So this is what he said.
Russian.
So let's just give everybody a little bit of background. Novak Djokovic, in case you don't know, has been a world champion of tennis for years and years and years and years. And the thing that the men have not done in 52 years has been
Win all four tournaments, big tournaments.
All four Grand Slams in 1 year. Now, what are the Grand Slams, Mom? They're the Australian Open, the
Wimbledon, U.S. Open, and French.
And the French Open.
Yeah, and
so
he
that's
won.
4. So he won all of them, and he was about to win the U.S. Open, and guess what happened? Well, Daniel Medvedev
Beat him.
from Russia beat
Russian.
the pants off of him. He just played like you wouldn't believe. And he's a young guy, too. So he'll be around for a while. And this is what Daniel Medvedev said after he beat Novak Djokovic. He said he was going for something huge. And this is what Daniel Medvedev said, who beat Novak Djokovic for the calendar year Grand Slam. He was going for some huge history. And knowing that I managed to stop him, it definitely makes it sweeter. So how about that? That's pretty incredible.
But what did Djokovic say?
Well, that's very interesting. So this is what Djokovic said.
He said,
tonight, now, let's just give him a little bit of background. Normally, Djokovic does not normally have the crowd behind him in New York, okay? That just doesn't happen in New York. That's just how it is. He wins, they love him. Sure, they want to see a good competitive game, but they're not always behind him in New York. I don't know about everywhere else, but in New York, that's just how it is. So this is what he said. Tonight, even though I didn't win the match, my heart is filled with joy, and I'm the happiest man alive because you guys made me feel very special. You guys touched my soul. I've never felt like this in New York. I love you guys. How about that?
Yeah, he was very gracious.
He was very emotional about that whole thing.
Yes.
And even though they were behind him, he just couldn't pull it off. It's
Right.
just he played the very best you can,
Right.
and sometimes you're not going to win. That's just the way it is.
Well, how about Murray? Murray was number 1. What happened to Murray?
Well, let's talk about that for a little bit. So who did he play? He played Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Yes.
Tsitsipas from Greece. Now this guy, he plays like a gorilla in a cage. When he's back there on the line, he's got his legs spread out and he's looking straight ahead. But when he's not ready to hit the ball, he's a nervous mess.
He gets forth like a prowling tiger.
He walks back to the wall, and then he walks back to the court, and then halfway he turns around, and then he changes his mind, and he walks back to the wall, and he goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and he's just a nervous wreck. And then he sits there, and he's got these legs wide open and his mouth wide open. He's like a gorilla that hasn't eaten in a week. I don't know. But, he's a regular, normal guy when you'd see him off the court and when he talks and everything. But that could be a little bit annoying. So what did he do, Mom, that was so annoying that Andy Murray had to mention it after the match was over? Now incidentally, Andy Murray is trying to make a comeback, the Englishman, but he didn't quite do it. So he lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas. And what happened during the match?
Well, in the bathroom break, they were allowed a reasonable time for a bathroom break.
Now, what's a reasonable time for a bathroom break?
Well, I've done 3 or 4 minutes, but he took up to nearly 8 minutes.
8 minutes. So they had to talk about the rules now of the U.S. Open, saying that you're allowed in a reasonable amount of time to take a break. Well, nobody really says how long that is.
Now it's being questioned that they might have to change the rules.
So he's like, well, I took what I took.
To specify.
I didn't break any rules. But, he kind of did. He broke an unspoken rule that you don't take advantage of that. So this is what Andy Murray said. I rate him a lot. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's great for the game, but I have zero time for that stuff at all. And I lost respect for him.
Yeah.
That's what a true Englishman would say, right? I have zero time for that stuff at all, and I lost respect for him. Mm-hmm. So he said that the length of Stefanos Tsitsipas' bathroom break affected the outcome of his 5-set loss.
Yeah.
Now he did also say that he might not have won, but it did affect the outcome. So maybe he would have, put up a better fight or something like that. Yes. Anyway.
Well, mention about the young Canadian.
No. We have to talk about Tsitsipas because he had another match after this, and it was still a problem, and he won the next match. But you know what he did? He lost to the 18-year-old Spaniard. So Stefanos Tsitsipas was beaten by an 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. By an 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, who stunned the world number 3 in a 5th-set tiebreak in the 3rd round. So this is what Carlos said. I have no words to explain how I'm feeling right now. I just don't know what happened out there in the court. I can't believe that I beat Stefanos Tsitsipas in an epic match. For me, it's a dream come true. How about that?
And what did Tsitsipas say?
Yeah, that's right. What did Tsitsipas say? So Stefanos Tsitsipas said on 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, I've never seen someone hit the ball so hard. Isn't that something? So these 18-year-olds are really
he's a comer.
Stepping it up now, and they're going to be around for a while.
He's not Canadian. He's Spanish, right?
Yeah.
From Spain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I have to say that all the years of watching tennis with you throughout the years of who was your first tennis star? I mean, there was Jimmy Connors.
Borg was my first one. Borg, the Swedish.
Borg?
Yeah, Borg.
So I don't know about you guys, but Mom's been watching tennis forever and got me involved, and I've been watching tennis forever. So that's what we do. We have a lot of fun with that. We watch sports. We watch baseball. We watch football, and we watch tennis. And I don't know. I'm thinking back in the early days, I think Bjorn Borg was one of the first guys.
Well, that's
the
first one I ever followed.
Right?
Yes, and then there was McEnroe.
No, well, that was way later.
Connors,
but there was Stefan Edberg. Yeah. There was Ivan Lendl.
Pete Sampras,
Jimmy Connors.
Andre Agassi.
Boris Becker.
Yes.
Oh, there was a lot of great players.
Yes, and I'm missing a lot, but I've watched many.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so this year, when we're watching them, we get sometimes a little bit critical on how they look and how they play because they all have their sort of specific innuendos. And we were watching the Argentinian Diego Schwartzman play. Now, this guy's not built like your typical tennis player. He's a little shorter, stockier, kind of a longer torso, shorter legs, and he kind of reminded me of like a pirate with a parrot on his shoulder when he was kind of walking around. And then he put his hat on backwards, which also made him look kind of a little bit more squatty and kind of like a walking torso when he was out there. You know, he's a good player, really good player, little guy, and he was playing a guy that was, I think he was from Russia, and he was like more than a head taller than him, and he actually beat him. But this other guy, he was all in black, and he had a funny little hat on, and his ears were sticking out. He kind of looked like, I don't know, like a spider out there with these long legs, or you could say he looked like a pinhead. But you know, you're just watching these guys doing their very best to play, and it's really easy to sit here on the couch and kind of talk about how they look. But sometimes you have to say something because it's like ridiculous. They both took off their hats. And they almost looked like normal people at the end of the game.
Yep.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
I forgot to mention Roger Federer, one of all time, and Nadal.
Well, of course.
Nadal, Rafael, which are two
Rafi
favorites,
Nadal.
which didn't play this tournament because of injuries.
Yeah.
A gentleman of all time is Federer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great guy all the way around. I don't know if he's going to be back. He's getting up there.
He's 40.
Yeah. That's a little bit old for tennis.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right. So Mom put together a list of the top 10 things that she learned from the 2021 U.S. Open. Right, Mom?
Well, actually, 10 plus 6.
10 plus 6.
Yeah.
So it's 16 things.
Right.
Okay, what do you got, Mom? Let's hear it.
Well, number 1, if your skirt slips down, you don't stop. You just keep tugging it up. Like who?
Well, that one Greek player.
Yes, the Greek player.
She was a mean-looking girl. Did you see her eyebrows?
Well,
They're
she
like
didn't
this.
Smile too much.
She was mean.
Yeah.
And I thought that she dressed more like a man than a woman. Just what I'm saying.
She kept losing her skirt.
I would love to dress some of these players. Let's just say that, okay? I'll give them something nice to wear that's sort of like,
there'd be a lot of money
accentuates
and
their
time in
wonderful
that. Yes.
features. They all have long legs or long arms or hair or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. I think I could do better than what they picked to wear. It's like 3, 5, 8 colors. I mean, give me a break. The one guy was playing with a red in the front and white pants, and then he had a red butt, and he looked like, what's going on there?
Well, that didn't bother me.
That bothered me like crazy. Anyway.
All right. Number 2, breaking your racket in a fit is a no-no, and also it is a penalty.
Well, who did that?
Who did that? I'm asking you.
Well, I remember. He was frustrated. Novak Djokovic did it.
Yes.
He did it in the Olympics too, I think.
Right.
And he just smashed it, smashed it to smithereens because he just lost it. Well, actually, when he was playing, and there were no people with the towels, right? There were ball boys and ball girls. One of them went running by, and he went like this, and he was gonna he was pretending to smack one of them. Now he would never do that, but you knew something was coming. And then the play after that was when he smashed his racket to smithereens. Okay.
Number 3, going to the bathroom is timed, called a reasonable time.
Reasonable time.
But is it up to 8 minutes?
No.
And it's being questioned, and we already talked about that with who?
Mr. Tsitsipas.
Yes.
What a name.
Number 4.
What a name.
You have to grab your towel this year now because of COVID. We don't have the towel people.
That's right.
And sometimes they'd wander back and take too long using their towel and sort of get a frown from the other person.
Well, yeah, because it was on either side, the right or the left, and they had to grab it. And I think there was one instance where a guy ran into the camera or something. Remember? Who was that guy?
I don't
remember.
remember.
Kicked the camera.
Yeah.
I think it was a bad thing. Oh, maybe. Well, I don't know. Anyway.
Number 5. Shh. Shh. Don't shout or talk loud during somebody serving.
No.
Or even walk around.
No.
Remember,
No.
there was people milling coming in and out. They should be seated.
Well, wait. Now, that was happening at the end of the match that Medvedev was serving for the game, for the championship, for the match, and the crowd wanted Djokovic to come back. They wanted to see him come back so bad that they were making a lot of noise. And he was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And McEnroe's going, just serve the ball. Just serve this. Don't even listen. Just serve the ball. And they did quiet up a little bit. But when Djokovic was serving, you could hear a pin drop. So they were really favoring him that whole time. And I think, Medvedev got a little bit of a taste of what it's like when the crowd is not behind you, but, you're playing good enough to win. Anyway, okay, next one.
Number 6, some players seem to wear the same type of outfit for every game.
Ugh.
And number 7.
No. Well, the men can change them, right? The men change the shirts.
Well, I said number 7. Men change their sweaty shirts.
Okay.
Much more than women. You never see a woman running off to change her top or anything.
Well, women don't sweat, right? They perspire. Yeah, right.
I suppose.
Yeah, right.
Number 8. Some have squeaky shoes.
That's right.
And you know who has the squeaky shoes?
I guess Djokovic.
Yep, you can hear his all the time. Number 9. They seem to be getting taller, and 6'6" seems to be just normal.
Yep. Unless you're Schwarzkopf or whatever his name is. Unless you're
Schwartzman.
Yes, sorry. That guy's a midget.
Number 10. Some bounce the ball more than 10 times when serving, going on forever.
That's what they do. Well, look at what Nadal does. He's got his hands over here and this and that.
Well, he always has the same motions.
Everybody has a thing they do right before they serve, and it's kind of interesting.
Number 11. Some have very stoic faces, never change their expression.
Yeah, Medvedev is kind of one of those guys.
And number 12. Several top women players seem to have chosen the same type or style of tennis outfit. Men mostly is all the same.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, sometimes they wear all one color. They wear too many colors.
But there were different styles.
They always wear a headband that's like a totally different color.
Several of them had the same style.
Yeah, well, for girls, what are they going to wear?
Yeah.
They got a little skirt on there and a little top.
Number 13. Almost all were gregarious enough to shake hands or hug after losing or winning.
Okay.
Once in a while, one didn't. They were a little bit miffed.
Well, we have to talk about that now. We have to talk about this. Because there was one match in particular where the girl was feeling sick and she took a medical break. And then after that, the other girl was not scoring that well, and she kept taking a break and putting the towel on her face after every single point. And she said that was completely 100% unprofessional. Now, you remember who it was. I don't remember the name right now. And when they ended the match and she lost, even though she was coming back, she sat right down in her chair. She didn't even go to the net. And then she thought about it, and she went to the net, and she goes, that was completely unprofessional. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's kind of nasty.
Number 14. Some perspire profusely and drips from their nose and their face. Nadal is one of the most that perspires heavily.
Yeah,
Rafael Nadal.
That's how it is, yeah.
15. Often they wear a dramatic headband.
Yeah.
And sometimes their caps are forward or their caps are backwards. And you mentioned that before.
What do you prefer?
I don't like them backwards. I'm not into that.
The Italian guy wore it like that.
Yeah.
Bertolini.
And number 16. None seem to have big Popeye muscles in their arms, even though they use them again and again and again.
Except for that little Greek woman that had the skirt that kept sliding down.
Oh, yeah, you thought she was
She
more
was like
muscular.
a little gymnast.
Yeah.
Come on, she looked like Nadia Comaneci.
Yeah.
Look at that girl. Muscles. All muscles.
Yeah. Yes.
I wouldn't want to play against her, man.
Yeah.
Because if I lose, she's going to beat me up.
Right. Well, that was the last of my observations.
Oh, that was
Mike.
really good,
I just
Mom.
enjoyed it.
That was really awesome. So we have to wait a little bit for the next tennis, right? I guess it's going to be a while.
Yes.
Well, we can always look forward to football.
Oh.
So,
All right, how much time?
Mom watched football with me on, what was it? Sunday Night Football. This highly anticipated game of the Bears and the Rams. And what happened, Mom? What happened?
Well, the Bears didn't win, but hey, you're only as good as the day you play. Nobody can say you're going to win all the time.
They weren't expected to win, but the way they lost
But they
was
made
just
two
pathetic.
touchdowns.
No, it was pathetic. The coach made this ridiculous call on third down and 1 and 2 or fourth down, and he goes for it twice, and then it was like, oh. Instead of kicking a field goal, which they could have easily have done, it was fourth down and like 14 or something ridiculous, and he went for it. What an idiot! What
I'm not that smart about football,
Coach Nagy.
Well,
what's the matter with that guy? Needs his head examined. That's what he needs.
Well, that's just you.
All this hype and all this
All
stuff,
right.
and we got a veteran and we got a rookie and we got everybody in place and they're hungry and they want to play good and they want to win.
They'll be better on the next game.
And it was just a joke. It was a complete joke. Anyway, so in the Tuesday, September 14th, sports and business section of the Daily Herald, they got a picture of Matt Nagy watching from the sidelines there on his fourth down and 14 call to go for it. And in big letters it says, "What was he thinking?" Yeah, that's right. That's what everybody's thinking. What in the hell was he thinking? Would it be so bad to just say one time, yeah, it was probably not the best call? No, he never does that. Never. Just do it one time. And we could understand that you are human and things happen. Okay. You got caught up in the hype. Maybe you thought he was going to pull one over on him. Maybe you didn't even realize that it was 4th and 14. Who knows? And anyway, there was one good thing that happened about these first few games here in our division is that, guess what? We're tied for first because everybody in our division lost their first game. So that's ridiculous. And then the Packers, Rodgers, here it says, I don't know what happened here. The Packers lost 38-3 to New Orleans Saints in Jacksonville, Florida, which was insane because that never happens to Aaron Rodgers. And so it says here, Rodgers, Pack, humbled by Saints stinker. And it was a stinker. He was throwing interceptions to guys like he was throwing them a pass. It was like ridiculous. And after the game, they said, Aaron Rodgers, what's going on? What's happening? He goes, just one game. Just one game. Just one game. Are you kidding me?
Well, what was the game that we saw that was so great?
All right. So we watched
this
the game
was a tremendous
on Monday
game.
night. Monday night football is back, ladies and gentlemen, and I recommend that you tune in because what happened on Monday night? The Raiders play the Ravens, and it was amazing.
And then they were tied,
it was amazing.
24-24.
The Raiders won 33-27 in overtime, but you would have never known it. You would have never known it because we were watching it when it was like, 27-27?
24-24.
And they're driving
about
down.
About 3 minutes left.
And the Ravens are driving down. And they got a field goal. And there's no time left. There was literally 34 seconds left. And what did Carr do? Oh my God. He went down there and drove it down to the 25, 30 yard line, kicked the field goal with no time left and tied it up. Amazing. And then it went back and forth, and there was a fumble. And anyway, guess who won? The Raiders won in Vegas. Awesome stadium. It was pretty cool. Well, that's about it, guys. See you next week.
This was sort of our sports edition. Bye, Fran.
That's right. Let's watch some real good football this coming week. All right? Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye now.